What's up, y'all? It's TyranitarTube, and welcome to What Sucks About Generation 6 Pokemon X and Y. Now, when I make these videos, I'm trying to tear a generation apart. I'm trying to actually uncover where Game Freak screwed up. I could not think of anything wrong with X and Y. Now, I'll give you the first one, just the post game. And that's it. So I ended up recording a rant where I instead talk about why Pokemon X and Y are both the worst games, but also one of the best games. How can a game be both poo and gold at the same time and you pick which one you want to see? Anyhow, because I needed help, I asked you guys on Twitter. We got to keep this series going. We have to get from Gen 8 all the way down to Gen 1. So let's see what sucks about the games. There's so much done in Pokemon X and Y with what Team Flare really is and what the poetic stuff that's actually going on with life and death in Pokemon X and Y was. It was all supposed to be expanded properly in Pokemon Z. All the unsolved mysteries, locked power plant door, ghost girls, everything was supposed to be in Pokemon Z. And the post game is supposed to be a spin-off continuation of the 6th story we got in Pokemon X and Y. That's the biggest complaint. The fact that Game Freak said pause this, we'll continue this another day, and then release the game, and then deleted Pokemon Z off their hard drive, and then just moved on to Sun and Moon. Like some crazy madman. It's like he's on meth or something. Here's the first one. Weren't the games super easy? Games too easy. The Elite Four were extremely easy. Yes, Pokemon X and Y were hilariously easy. I don't think there's a single battle I struggled with, and by the time you make it to the champion, your team's level 70. The Anti-Fairy Princess has been training her whole life and no one's beaten her. And just by coincidence, I don't think guys were winning this fight against Game Freak. I don't think they're ever gonna make a hard Pokemon game. They didn't have any event legendaries except for Zygarde and a bird. Okay, so I said no post-game mentions, but alright. Yes, X and Y didn't have any post-game legends aside from Mewtwo in a cave, Zygarde in a cave, and one legendary bird roaming. That absolutely sucked. I don't know why there isn't like a Heatran in a cave somewhere, Raikou, Suicune in the game somewhere in a cave. And in terms of the mythicals, I don't know why they never do the bridge anymore in Pokemon games. Shaman exists in every single Dominant Poke copy, even if you can't get to it. What the frick is your problem that you can't do this anymore? How hard is it to throw a fat-ass Heatran in a cave? There's like 74 Pokemon homes in the game design. No one asked you to make 74 houses. They're looking different inside. Make 75 and put the last one inside the power plant and make Volcanion hanging out in there. Or are you goddamn busy staring at your sales? Or meeting the shady meth dude in the alley? Hoopa should have been in some next island nearby. The answer should have been a secret event in the Carbon Cave. That sounds so good when I imagine it. Too many underdeveloped rivals. This is a fair point. Let's get some facts straight. 1, what the frick do you want with me with the fireworks? 2, Serena was cool. She was there with you in the final hideout. I know what Game Freak is trying to do. They're trying to create a squad for you. They wanted you to have this high school squad and you embark on your Pokemon journey together. But the squad is meaningless. The squad is a bunch of youngster Joeys because they couldn't care to do anything with the squad once they wrote the beginning scene. What do you want us to call you? After that, they forgot the rivals existed. That's right. 5 minutes into the game, Game Freak's like, whoa, rivals. When did we do that? Masuda walks in the room. Who the frick designed that? Is that a Drifblim? Alright, I don't like the design of that girl. Can you as a dude? Good work on the Serena. Short skirt as always for the 4chan dumbasses. Good work, team. Let's scrap him for the rest of the game. You just need some more fun writing, which Game Freak doesn't want to do. I guess you gotta think of it differently. In Pokemon X and Y, we didn't have a rival. We just had friends. Serena's your best friend. She's not really a rival. If they had that many rivals, you should have had mini arcs involving Team Flare with each of them. And then they all grouped together for the final marathon through Team Flare's hideout. I don't laugh at memes anymore. Don't say this. I mean, for one, the AZ and Eternal Float event should never have been scrapped. Okay, listen. The question was what sucked about X and Y. Alright, that was not going to make X and Y better. A lot of the gym leaders and main trainers had cool designs and memorable gyms. Facts. But pretty forgettable personalities. No, I don't think any gym leaders in any Pokemon games are memorable. That's just what it is. They just sit there and do their thing. Mega Evolutions never got explained, and we just kind of had to accept it was there like most gimmicks we get. I tell you what, some people are crazy. It's like when you have to fill up an essay and you're just trying to add a couple words. We just kind of had to accept Mega Evolution like most gimmicks we get. What other gimmicks did we get? Oh yeah, that gimmick in Gen 5? Oh, that Gen 4 gimmick. Mega Evolution is the first gimmick, dude. So the mystery involves Zygarde, the energy of Xerneas and Yveltal, the gods of life and death. And through the fragments of the story, you uncovered that Mega Stones and Evolutionary Stones come from Yveltal and Xerneas' power. Essentially, Mega Evolution is like forcefully evolving your Pokemon, almost like forcefully using a Moonstone on something, and you get Mega Charizard X, Mega Tyranitar, and it's like a corrupted evil evolution. Not enough Pokemon with bland designs. That's just absolutely not true. I just went through the entire decks. They have some sick designs. Team Flare admins are unrememberable. Facts. Team Flare, what? You know what Team Flare is memorable? Because they got no admins. Bitchita, look, these ain't admins. Get off my screen. This is my video. These are scientists. They all look the same. I don't know the difference between them. If these dudes didn't exist and Team Flare had actual admins, these scientists and their weird seductive poses that Masuda loves. Bro, the 4chaners aren't even worshipping them. They're worshipping Masuda. They make fun of Masuda so much, but secretly they're worshipping him through the girls he creates. What was I talking about? Team Flare is one of the sickest villains ever, but the problem is you can't tell what their depth is because first off, they don't have admins. They have these scientists that all look the same. The only memorable member in Team Flare, aside from Malva, is Lysander. The reason the admins aren't memorable is because there are no admins. That is one point that would have been cool if there was like a second in command and third in command under Lysander. They're literally scientists. We needed some actual admins. What sucks about Pokemon X and Y is the fact that the base shiny odds were increased to 1 in 4,000. You know, I really thought when I sent out this tweet that people would really jog my memory with so many bad things with X and Y. It's just like a few things because Game Freak shafted the game. Try to make you care about too many characters. End up with no interesting ones. Alright, you're talking about the rivals again, yeah? Okay, yeah. They're best friends and they suck. They needed more action so we could see their personality. Champion was kinda irrelevant and seemed too easy. Yeah, she really was underused. One of my favorite things in X and Y is Dianthus' theme. That theme kicks ass. Story is also pretty meh and lacks any intensity until after the 7th gym. A lot of people say this, but you forget in Pokemon games, the story is slow until it gets climactic. In Hoenn, the story is slow. You're waiting for Team Aqua and Magma at this museum. They want to go check it out. Nothing happens until something happens. Nothing happens with Team Galactic until you get to Spear Pillar and Cyrus summons Dialga and Palkia. There should have been more megas for the important characters in the game. Facts. In the midst of talking about how many easy battles there are, when you're making your team and you have this squad of 6, you want someone to challenge it. You're so bored when you're so strong. So that's why the Lysander fight is so cool, because you're like, yes, someone, a worthy challenger. There needs to be more worthy challengers. I want to see more megas. It's actually stupid. At the very least, the 7th and 8th gym leader and the 4 Elite Four members should have had megas. What sucks about X and Y is how you can get a whole team without using a single Pokeball on wild Pokemon. It's like you guys find a fun fact and then make a sucker. Who cares that you get 6 gift Pokemon in the game? That does not destroy the game. I love everything about X and Y. Best game, best rivals, best evil team. But when they give me those gift Pokemon. One thing I didn't like about Gen 6 was that it was the first gen to have significantly less Pokemon than we're used to. That is facts right there. Albeit the 69 Pokemon they did introduce with an obligatory nice were good ass Pokemon. Sometimes you don't appreciate like the weird designs that exist in nature in real life, but stuff like Heliolisk, Barbaracle, Aegislash, they're all good designs, man. There's some crap designs if you look through overall national decks in all generations. Gen 7, Gen 8, Gen 1, everything. Gen 6 had some of the best designs. The game was way too short and felt way too linear. Plus, there's navigating Lumios, which even with the map was a nightmare. Well, listen, you'll play tougher games in the future and you'll be lost. So I'm glad I got lost. I'm glad I had some difficulty somewhere. Don't you complain about that. You can open up the tile map and see where you are, dumbass. Not that I did that. How long does it take to beat? A site I go to see how long something takes to beat. The main story, on average, takes 32 hours to beat. I don't know why I was expecting 8 hours when I just read that comment. The game was way too short and felt way too linear. 32 hours on average. People taking their time, 75 hours. And it's a 3DS Pokemon game, not a Switch Pokemon game. It's cheaper. Let's see how long Sword and Shield is. Well, look what the cat dragged in. 25 hours on average, which 23 of those was the Dynamaxing animation. Pokemon X and Y, 32 hours. Pokemon Black and White, 32 hours.
What?
Now tell me Black and White didn't feel like a long game. If there's one thing I tell you, it's when the game is so enjoyable that you're going through it so quickly that you don't realize how long you've actually been playing for. Albeit one thing that attributes to that is that the game was too easy, which kind of makes it sound like it has even longer actual length than Unova, because you don't have to train in these games and it takes 32 hours, while in Unova you have to train and that takes 32 hours including training. I don't know what point I try to prove here. The games are indeed short because it has no post game, but the main story does not need to be any longer. Not to say I don't want a longer main story. You know, y'all say the story sucked like you about that life. Like none of y'all pay attention to the story. And then meanwhile, I'd say the strongest point was the lore. Okay, couple facts here. One, The lore is fantastic. Mostly the story was written well, but it needed to be written so much more well to actually shove the lore in your face and make people realize what the lore is really about. Because no one knows. No one knows how insane the lore in Pokemon X and Y is. Platinum expanded that rubber band about the lore much better and shoved you into the distortion world. This created the lore. Pokemon Z was supposed to refine that lore and bring us the best Pokemon game. I don't think it was in X and Y's writing to give us the best delivery of that lore. It would have been in Pokemon Z, and it exists somewhere. Pokemon Z exists. Monster just deleted it off his hard drive, bro. I love X and Y to absolute death, but the lack of rematches of any kind in the game and the overly easiness is definitely what ruins it the most. Masuda, how hard is it to add gym leader rematches? There isn't even an Elite Four rematch. Dianta's level 70, dude. I would have loved a Dianta in the post game. I would have loved some super boss with level 87 Pokemon. It's kind of crazy that Pokemon X and Y are good, but the fact that you gain a little too much experience ruins a lot of it. That fact is just kind of weird to me. Trainers had small teams. The 8th gym leader has 3 Pokemon. Lysandre only has 4. Yo, why are you looking at me, man? Game Freak's stupid, so they're just gonna do that crap. I'm surprised Red has 6 Pokemon. It's like they're never gonna do that crap again. Yo, this man is so pissed. Freaking unbalanced quick balls. Caught Mewtwo full health first turn. In my opinion, it's the soundtrack. Okay. Anastar City. You having fun looking at that sundial? Snowbell Town. City. You telling me you're not internally crying? You tell me you don't feel nostalgia for a game you don't even remember why you feel nostalgic about? You don't? Route 15. You can cry, I'm crying too. This is some of the sickest music in the... What are you talking about? You're full of crap. My biggest issue with Gen 6 is definitely the soundtrack. It's too plain. He just said it again with stronger words. Get out of here. Forgettable Evil Team is facts. They needed to do Team Flare better, but that whole lore about Team Flare, all the lore about what AZ did and Lysandre literally being a second AZ, even though he's a genocider. What Team Flare represented was good. What Lysandre was doing in that climax was good. But I think Team Flare definitely needed like an admin or two that led Team Flare's early appearances in the game. Because there's some fun stuff. Like you compare the Team Aqua Magma hideouts when you climb up that one mountain and Team Magma's fighting Team Aqua, and then you meet them somewhere else up that ghost mountain. You do stuff like that against Team Flare as well. The Pokeball Factory, all sorts of stuff. It just needed to be led by an actual admin with their memorable face that you want to see again and whip their butt. Some of the choices for Mega Pokemon like Garchomp, for example. Mega should have been made for bad Pokemon, not good Pokemon. Okay, so you look at me in my eyes and tell me, are you excited for Mega Audino? So why are you talking bull right here? Y'all better not be lying to yourself just because you want something to say. The rivals that aren't Serena and Callum are pretty forgettable. Oh yeah, I remember now, Tierno dances. And doesn't his team have like swords dance and all sorts of dance moves? Yeah, man, that dance thing he has going on is cool. But imagine you had a whole arc. Okay, listen, you're on the second gym and Team Flare's doing some madness at this mountain. So you're with Tierno. You meet Tierno there and you both climb this mountain, go into Team Flare's little business here, beat them all up, meet an admin, bunch of Tierno fat jokes, doing the twirly jokes, and then you separate again and continue on your journey. That needs to happen with each of the rivals. If you introduce 4 rivals, I've said this enough. So the Kalos region is based off France, right? Where? Like, I don't know. I didn't get a French vibe from the game compared to Galar, where I felt an actual British vibe. Like, I don't even know how to show a French vibe. The way you could show French vibe is in the music. You could have Spanish music. Listen to this music. This kind of music gives you Spanish vibes. So if they made a Pokemon region in Spanish, in Spain, based off Spanish, or what, Colombia, Mexico, Pokemon region of Mexico. Let's have a region in Colombia. And then we have Pablo Escobar. Champion Escobar. Professor Escobar. Yo, Professor Pablo. He gives you your starter, man. He's a drug dealer. Yeah, there's no real way to showcase the French culture because they had French stuff in the game. Guja's based off the French slug dragon in French folklore. But I don't think there's really any way to give people a French feel if it's not done in the music. Like, it's not like if you went to Lumia setting, it's in Paris with an accent on like the A that you would be like, oh, French. Bro, I don't even get a British vibe from Galar. Just being overall forgettable. This is true because of how we enjoy Pokemon games. We played XY knowing that there is a guaranteed Pokemon Z coming. We played it quickly, we put it to the side quickly, and impatiently with blue balls waited for Pokemon Z news. And it never came. So XY was quickly thrown in the trash for us to move on, and we couldn't enjoy it properly because Game Freak has this formula but didn't stick to it and give us the third version. And then meanwhile, they decided to give us 2 versions for Sun and Moon. And then you did DLCs for Gen 8. Like, you know, Pokemon King as the 3rd version of Sword and Shield would have been sick if they redid everything. Better animations, we'll never know. Maybe they have Legends Arceus like cleaner graphics in Pokemon King. All that extra decks back, stronger trainers, full 6 Pokemon for each trainer. New Gigantamaxes. But no, they changed the formula again and went to DLCs. They just can never stick to their formula. The story felt empty and they did nothing with Zygarde besides giving him 2 forms in Sun and Moon. Boy, if you knew what they were gonna do with Zygarde and Pokemon Z, dude, that was gonna be a whole mess. Can you just imagine the stuff that would have gone down? Like Lysandre gets both the tree and the Yveltal cocoon in the same place, and when both of them are gonna be awakened when you enter the room, like Zygarde appears and summons a giant fissure and brings everyone into this underground place because like,
everyone chill out. I'm gonna shut you all up. I'm gonna kill Lysandre.
Like Zygarde just goes full on cop mode and starts beating everyone up. Dude, there's some fun stuff that would have happened. He would have sent everyone to some Terminus world. It would just be dark. Like, you would have fell into a pit. Listen, bro, he would have dropped you all into a pit in that Yveltal Xerneas room, and you wake up and it's totally dark. You take a couple steps forward, bump into someone. Freaking dude with red hairs on the floor. Lysandre, is that you? Yo, bro, help me out. This is Lysandre. I know we got our differences. And hear some rumbling in the distance, like Zygarde's coming to hunt down both of you. Yo, Lysandre, listen. Just until we kill this thing, can you just be my friend? Yeah, man, listen up. Bro, I'm scared of snakes. Just help me get through this. Y'all dap it up. Y'all go forward. Freaking Zygarde's there. You fight him together. Zygarde whoops both your asses. And then he starts summoning all the Zygarde cells from around Kalos. And they start messing up the world. And you're like, oh no. It's like we had a friendship with Lysandre on the line. You don't understand. Zygarde is not a good Pokemon. This man is a villain. If Zygarde wakes up, he is killing everything. He is the Noah's Ark flood. He will flood this world and reset it. You have failed, humans. You die. At that point, Lysandre's my friend. Because Lysandre just want to kill the humans in 5 minutes. Zygarde trying to kill him right now. So we can be friends until those 5 minutes. And I can secretly put some cuffs on you right when Zygarde falls. Got look around speed dial. You get you arrested. Help me beat Zygarde? I totally won't arrest you after this. Bro, we would have done a fusion dance with Lysandre and became a superhuman. Beat up this Zygarde. Arrest myself. I'll fuse with Lysandre and turn myself in. Done. Lysandre's arrested. Unfuse and get out of the cell. Thanks, Looker, for the admission. Let's arrest Zygarde. Arrest this man. Put him behind bars. You already got that 9-foot cell for AZ. Put Zygarde in there. Problem solved. We got this man on underground speed dial. If any legendary comes to threaten the world, if Necrozma comes in 7 years to threaten the world, we go to the basement, pick out Zygarde, take off the cuffs on him. Yo, man, go kill that thing. Can't have crap in Pokemon Z. I was supposed to be best friends with Lysandre. Can't even have Pokemon Z. Can't even have Pokemon. Team Flare felt like a stupid and weak concept, which made Lysandre's cool character and story feel a lot weaker. Yeah, man, Lysandre had a whole ass plan and some craziness, but they did not deliver Team Flare properly to us. So let's do our takeaways. If the game wasn't so easy, if the rivals were fleshed out better, if Team Flare was made to be a little more memorable and had admins, and then if more trainers had Mega Evolutions, the game would have been solid. Let's move to the post game. If the post game just had legendary super bosses, rematches, a hint that Lysandre might be alive somewhere. Oh yeah, I freaking forgot. We more or less figured out that it wasn't even gonna be Pokemon Z. It was gonna be X and Y sequels. I made a video on it. It was supposed to be X and Y sequels. Lysandre probably is alive. But we got half a story. There's a whole other half to this. This was meant to be sick. We've covered all the main points. It's like X and Y is both one of the greatest games and also such a forgetful game. There's so much good in the game, and the games are good. But the things I do complain about, I know were meant to be fixed when the story continued into the post game or when Pokemon XZ and YZ came out. Don't say Megas made the game easy. You don't want to say that out loud. You're the dude Masuda listened to and he said, what? Well, I better get rid of Megas. And if you add one more thing, Team Flare does not give you enough mysterious motivation to want to keep playing because they're so mysterious you want to figure them out for like the first half of the game. Half the damn region was cut off. You know, now when I see the Crown Tundra, it no longer becomes like make-believe to say Southern Kalos was supposed to exist. It must have existed. Literally only Z and post-game are the problems. It was perfect, T-Tar. My consensus is that if you played the game a second time, you would be blown away that it is actually a really good game. But by that I mean, you watch my video and you learn what Team Flare's actual motivation is. So when you're playing it, you're like, holy crap, this is pretty sick what's going on. Because they didn't do their writing job properly, you need to play a game the second time while Masuda's also not blue balling you this time to actually enjoy the game. They told the same kind of deep story that they did in Black and White, but Black and White told the story. X and Y just developed the lore that could have been as good as Black and White, but didn't tell you the story. The fact that I even had to make a tweet like this just shows that even it was forgettable for me. Shank that like button. Let me know your thoughts and experiences with you and Kalos, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care.
This the sound of my alchemy, the greatest success for all those who fell for me. I always respect the friends who wish well for me and live until the end and die. All time will tell for me, but I ain't going anywhere, believe me.